So continuing on with the manual swap here, today we're going to be installing the clutch pedal, master cylinder, and starting to take apart the interior. With the installation of the clutch pedal, it would be easier to take the seat out. So I went ahead and took the seat out, and the carpet started to be pulled back. And getting a look underneath of the dash here, I have to get a light to give you guys a better look. But the clutch pedal will go up in there where those cutout indentations are. So once the seat is out, you are able to pull the carpet back out from underneath of the center console there. That will have to come out at some point, and then also the side here, this trim piece comes off, and then the carpet can be pulled back pretty far here out of the way. Also, before I disconnected anything, I just wanted to go ahead and disconnect the battery here, so I just took the positive off of the battery. So with the carpet up out of the way here like this, I did go ahead and pull the seat harness through there at the bottom, and now we have tons of room here underneath. We're not going to have to worry about getting anything dirty or burnt or whatever with the drills and drill bits. So now we have a pretty good access to the cutouts there for the master cylinder and clutch pedal. And then also I will have to go ahead and take this module and bracket out just to be able to fit more space or get more space in there with the drill. It will make it a good bit easier with that bracket and module disconnected and out of the car. Alright, so once this module is out, you have a lot more room underneath to fit the clutch pedal up. I did have to take this under panel off, which is just 5 Phillips head screws out to be able to get this upper module bolt out here. So now with that module out of the way, you have a lot more visibility and access to the bolt, or for the holes for the cylinder, and then also this hole straight up here for the upper mount on the clutch pedal assembly bracket itself. And then there is, on factory manual cars, there is a stud cut out here, I was told by another YouTube video, to hold the pedal. There is a hole for it on my pedal, but from the few videos that I've seen, no one uses that stud. I may try to figure something out to get a threaded hole there to put a bolt in, but for now I will just leave it how it is and go ahead and start cutting. I am going to cut a good bit out of that cutout there of just the plastic so that the pedal assembly sits flush, and then also I'm going to cut a little bit out here as well so that the upper portion of the pedal sits flush here too. So I'll go ahead and do that and show you what it looks like, or what I did cut out to get it, get the pedal sitting in flush. Alright, so continuing on here, I did go ahead and cut out kind of a square circle for the base of the clutch pedal. As you can see there on the left hand side, there was some kind of sealant or just like overspray seam sealer blocking one of the holes. I did go ahead and fill all 3 in so that they're easy to see, and I cut out enough space for the base of the clutch pedal to sit flushly against the metal. On this left hand side here, I'm probably going to have to scrape some more of that seam sealer away so that the base will sit flush, but I did go ahead and cut out both sections just so that the metal will sit flush with the mounting point up there, and then also the backing up here as well. So next up, we're going to go ahead and drill out these holes. And the master cylinder is going to go down in here next to the brake booster where the OEM location is. There's already cutouts in the car for the holes. You just have to drill them through to mount everything up. Alright, so to drill the holes here, I went ahead and borrowed a 90-degree drill. And then I was told to use by Grannis an 1.5 inch hole saw. So I went ahead and picked up this set from Harbor Freight. And then for the 2 smaller holes, I'm going to start by using a small drill bit. I believe 5/32. just a small bit. And then for the final size, I have a 3/8 bit. That's what Grant said to use. So I'm just starting with a small one, and then I'll go up to a 3/8 drill bit. So on the back of the clutch pedal assembly here, you can see there's 3 holes. The center one for the master cylinder, and then these 2 for studs off of the master cylinder that will hold the pedal. And then there's an upper mount and a lower mount on the pedal itself. And this is a pedal. Here's the part number here from Toyota for the original clutch pedal and cover. Alright, so after drilling those holes, I just went ahead and stuck the pedal into position with the risers. So actually the pedal base itself, I'll show you guys in a second, doesn't sit fully flush against the body. It has little risers that stick off of it that hold it, that gap it out. On the other side here, I stuck a couple drill bits through, a few sizes down, just to make sure the holes were lined up. They do go in to the base of the clutch pedal, and I need to get a file here to smooth some of those edges there on, especially the big hole, before I actually put the master cylinder in. So on the back of the clutch pedal here, these risers, or whatever you want to call them, stick up against the firewall, and then the bolts come through, or the studs come through of the master cylinder. So with it test fitted, everything looks good. I need to buy a file so that I can fix the burrs and kind of the rougher metal on the holes. But overall, it's lined up and it's ready for the master cylinder and clutch pedal to be connected together. And alrighty guys, so we're back where we left off with the clutch pedal and master cylinder, just in a new location. Got the battery disconnected, got some parts laying around, got a file. Alright, so now we're just gonna file the holes right there from the inside of the car. Hopefully you guys can see it decently with the GoPro view. I don't know how good it's gonna be. Let's skip through this because it's gonna be loud. Alright, and you guys, the tools I've needed so far for this, taking the seats out and getting to where I'm at with the clutch pedal and master cylinder, is 10mm, 1/4" wrench, preferably a stubby or short 10mm, to get the module off, the steering column module that was in the way. For the seats, a 14mm with a 3/8 ratchet, and then also a 14mm ratcheting wrench. So not too much so far. And then also these files. I did end up using both of these 2 for the bigger hole, and then obviously just this smaller one for the 2 smaller holes. And since it is going to be exposed metal, I am going to go ahead and spray the area. I'm going to put some tape behind it and then just spray the area with some black spray paint just to cover up the exposed metal. And then we'll go ahead and slip the master cylinder in and hook up the clutch pedal. Master cylinder, I haven't showed you guys yet, is here. So for the master cylinder, we'll need a 12mm, and actually I'm going to put some Loctite on these, so I will loosen those up actually. So I went ahead and put some blue Loctite on these, and I'm just going to turn them in with a pair of vice grips. You could use regular pliers, it would work just fine. Just make sure not to grab the threads. Here is another way you can do them as well. I went ahead and did it on this side since I can't really get a wrench on. Basically you just tighten these 2 nuts together. This one, the inner one going loose and the outer one going tight. Once it gets pretty tight, you can just turn both of them in like that. I'm just gonna go kind of snug on the studs, and I'll do the same thing on the other one. 2 12mm for at least this master cylinder. And I just use the nuts that hold it together. Go ahead and thread this one on backwards. Well, either way, but I just do it because it has the locks here. About halfway, this one,
till it's touching. Go a little more with both of them. So go this one, the outer one, getting ready to go tight, and the inner one getting ready to go loose. And then turn them together. Should lock. And then you'll turn the whole stud. So there we go. Studs all installed with some Loctite, so they ain't going nowhere.
Artlist.io.
So if I look down at your wiener, does it look like I'm looking at your wiener?
No, you gotta look down more.
It don't look like it's leaking yet.
But once you refresh it, we better find out.